Hey everyone, welcome again on Nodejs-Tag. Till the last video, we performed the create and read operation. Now it's time to perform the update operation on our Cloud Firestore. But before we will perform the update operation on Cloud Firestore, first we need to view the data. Okay, so from the Cloud Firestore document, we are storing four things: category, task, description, and the title. First, we wanted to see that data, and after that, we wanted to update that data on Cloud Firestore. So to view this data, first we need to create a new page called view data page. So let's create that inside the pages folder. I'm going to create a view data.dart file. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just copy the add to do page. If you haven't watched the add to do page creation, please watch that video first. You can find that video in the description because I don't want to write the code again. Here I'm just going to use the Control V and we are going to modify here. Okay, we wanted to do some modification over here. The first thing we wanted to modify is, instead of using the add to do, let's use the view data. And also let's change the state to, instead of add to do, to view data. Okay, now the first thing we completed. Now let's go on a home page. In the home page, we have this to do card. So what we have to do, that first we wrap this to do card with some event handler like inkwell, gesture detector, or anything. So we have to wrap this thing with the inkwell first, and in the inkwell let's add the on tap. After tapping on this inkwell, we wanted to navigate from this screen to that view to do or view data screen. So let's use the material page route again, and instead of this builder, let's return the view data. Remember, as of now we are not passing anything, but we have to pass this data also on this view to do page, view data page. Okay, we will do it later, but let's first click on this one of the card and let's see what we are able to see. So this is the design of view data as of now because we just copied from the add to do page. Now let's go over here and let's change something. So here what we have to do, the first thing we wanted to change, instead of create view your to do. See, we are using the old code. Now the label will be the same, but the title which we are using, instead of that, let's get the title data and let's show it over here, or let's pass the first property from this home page to this view data page. So in a view data, let's pass the data which we are getting over here, the document. Okay, so I'm going to pass this document first. So in a view data, let's go on the main. Let's create a final. The document is a type of map, comma string document, and I wanted to get it from the as a prop this dot document. So now we are getting this document from the home page to the view data page. Now it's time to populate this data in our view data page. And how we will do it? So these are the four variables we are using to manage all of the state of these four things, right? So let's use this thing only to populate the data as well. So here we are using the title controller and I'm initializing it with empty text edit controller. Instead of doing this over here, what I'm going to do, just see the video very carefully. I'm going to initialize it on the init state. So here in the init state, let's initialize this text edit controller. So text edit controller, at the time of initialization, it takes one additional property, that is the text. So let's use that thing to populate the title. So I'm going to use the text, and we are getting the document on a stateful class, and to access that document on the state class, what we have to do, we have to use the widget dot document. And now we can access the document field. Okay, so here let's use this title because I did a mistake, you already know that. So here we have to use the title, and remember title can be null, so that logic we can handle here itself. That let's use a string title equal to, if title is null, then okay, what we logic we use, that equal to null. Okay, so let's use the same logic, equal to null. So hey there, otherwise let's use the title again. Okay, so I'm using the same logic and let's initialize the title. Okay, so let me hit the save and let's go back and let's come here. You will find that title is already populated over here. Let's see the last thing where we did a mistake. So header is populated over here. Okay, let's do the same thing for the description as well. Okay, so instead of initializing the description over here, let's initialize the description over here itself. Let's pass the text, and we are getting access of this thing using the, I guess I have to see the description. Okay, we don't have that. Don't worry, we can rely on it, description. Let's go back and let's see that description is populated or not. You can see that the description is populated, which is saying Nodejs Tech channel, please subscribe this channel. Don't forget to subscribe this channel. Okay, now let's populate the data for type and category as well. Instead of initializing the type over here, let's initialize it over here only. Type, we will get access of the type using the task. Let's come back and see. So important is already selected. You can see that the color of the important is kind of selected chip. Okay, let's initialize the category as well. So for this we use the capital category, capital C. Okay, let's go back and see. So the work, so here you can see that the task title is the Nodejs Tech channel, task type is important, description is please subscribe this channel, and category was the work. But as of now, if I will click on a workout, then it is kind of selecting, like it is clickable, right? Because I haven't added the logic that if only I will click on some edit button, which I'm going to place over here, then only this button or text edit controller will be enabled. Okay, so let's write another logic where I will going to put a edit button over here. After clicking on edit button only, we can enable all of the 4 fields. Okay, for that I'm going to create a bool edit initially it will be a false. Okay, and let's write another component. So here we have the icon button which is inside the column. Let's copy this icon button again, and let's first wrap this icon button with row. This is the row, and let's hit the save and see that we get another icon. Let's use the main axis alignment as the main axis alignment space between. So another icon is came here, and what we can do is we can change the icon to arrow left to edit, or no, this is the Cupertino icon. We have to use the icon dot edit. So this is the edit button. As of now, the edit button color is white. Let's add a condition that if this edit button is true, then the color should be a different one. So if the edit is true, then let's use the colors dot red. Okay, also instead of view, let's change this view based on this edit. If the edit is true, then instead of this view, let's show editing your to do. And in an event, in our on press, what we are doing, that we are navigating from this screen. Instead of that, let's use the set state, and let's use the edit equal to not edit. So let's see, if I will click on edit, color should be changed on, also this editing should change. Okay, if again I will click, then it will change on a view and color is also changed. Instead of the red, we can use something else like green maybe. Okay, so it's working. Now what we have to do, that all the button should be disabled, right? Let's start first from the this title controller itself. So let's go on the title. So inside the text form field only, we have another property called enable. So this enable is based on the edit. So if the edit is false, then we cannot edit this title. Okay, similarly let's do it on the description text form field as well. So if the edit is true only, then we can edit it. So if I will click here, then we are editing mode, then we can edit something, right? Same goes for here. And if we are not in editing mode, then it will be disabled. Okay, now let's add a logic for the task chip and the category chip. Here also we can write a logic. If the if the edit is true, then only this ink will going to work. Oh, not here. We have to add it here in the on tab. If the edit is true, then only this ink will going to work, otherwise do not work. So if I will click on a plant, then it is not working right now. Similarly, same logic we have to write inside the category select. If is edit true, then only we can select the task, otherwise we will not select it. So if I will click this, then automatically all the fill will be enabled. So if I will click this, automatically all the fields are disabled. Now this is the time to update the data on the Cloud Firestore. Okay, so here we have the add to do, right? So let's go on that add to do button. Let's show this conditionally. Okay, so we have the edit, right? So here if the edit is true, then show the button, otherwise do not show it. So let's show the empty container. Hit the save. So right now there is no add to do button, right? If I will click on edit, so that will come. Instead of the add to do, let's name it as update to do. And here what we have to do, that on on tab we have to call the Firestore instant.collection to do. Instead of that, we have to use the doc. Okay, and we have to provide the ID of the doc, and then we have to use the update. Okay, so here we have to provide the ID of the particular document. And how we will get the document ID? We have to get this document ID from the home page to this view data page. Remember, here what we are doing, that we are just accessing the data. So this also have another property called ID. Okay, individual document have another property called ID also, along with the dot data. So we have to pass that ID also from this page to the view data page. So let's pass it from this page to the view data page. That will be a ID, and we will get access it using this ID parameter, and we have to initialize it first. So let's get it. It is a kind of string, final string ID. Sorry for that, right now I'm working with the React stuff, that's why this TypeScript thing is coming. So this dot ID, let it the save. We are passing the ID also. Let's use that ID here in a button. It will be a widget dot ID. Okay, and let's change the, let's first edit it. So the edit mode is already enabled, so let's change it to dev stack channel target is 5K. Comment on a video, also like. So this is the description. Now instead of the important, I use the plant. Let's use the design, and let's click on update to do. So we are getting an issue, stream close with status code not found. Why it is? Let me first refresh the page. Let's go on this page. Let's change to 1, 2, 3. Let's click on the update to do. Okay, now it's changed. You can see that, right? Because of we haven't refreshed the page, that issue came. So if I will refresh the page again, because we updated the data on the Firestore also, it will be a 1, 2, 3, which means we are able to update the data on a Firestore. So we can try over here. hey there, first my first title instead of this, hey there, okay, testing with all viewer. Instead of the important, let's use the plant. Just testing out, hey there, subscribe to the channel. Instead of the workout, let's use the design. Now let's click on the update to do. You can see that it's changed okay testing with all viewers. Also the icon is changed. If I again click over here, hey there, subscribe to the channel, this is design and it is planned, which means everything is working fine. If I will refresh the page also, then we are fetching the data from the Firestore, it will not change. We are not updating anything on a local state, we are updating it on a Firestore only, which means now we can create a data, we can read the data and we can update the data. To update the data, we need a ID, and this is ID which we are getting from the individual documents, and we have to use the update keyword, and the thing which we wanted to update we can add over here. So thank you all, happy coding. Please don't forget to subscribe the channel, also like the video and share the video to your friend, it will highly motivate me. And you can find my social media account on the description. Go there, like my GitHub, follow on my GitHub, follow on Instagram, and stay connected. Thank you. Let's meet on our next video.